So we go back to our morning agenda now. We have about 25 minutes, and there are a lot of items that have been pulled off consent agenda, so for the time being, I'll just go in order. First is item number 11, which is pulled for speakers, and we'll start with Ray Nadler-Olenek, and donating time is Walter Olenek, Clay Defoe, and Laura Presley. So you have up to 12 minutes.
Okay. Good morning, Mayor, Council, and citizens of Austin. And I'm including the citizens of Austin this time because I know there are many people in this city and, in fact, right in this building who would like to see an end to fluoride in their water. And among the people in this room, I'm sure, are some of the 15% of the population who suffer from fluoride-related health conditions such as diabetes, thyroid, and so on, including some right up there on the dais. So good morning to all of you. And I had signed up to speak against this resolution, but I have thought about it, and although it's bad, the consequences are so unpredictable that I'm going to change my position to neutral on this one. Now, last Friday I looked up for the draft agenda and saw that slide up there right as it is, with the charming formatting problems, the city clerk's name incorrect, I believe. And it said the city council supports the city manager's recommendation to do all the following. And I thought, city manager's recommendation? What's that all about? Anyway, the current papers suggest that it's, in fact, the recommendation of the Public Health and Human Services Department here in Austin. Whoever's recommendation it actually is, it boils down to a couple of points. One is continue to keep Austin water fluoridated because the Atlanta-based Centers for Disease Control says so. And the second point is to post information about fluoride in infants, that's infant formula, fluorosis, and so on the city's website. That information is already there. They're proposing to distribute it more widely in Spanish and English, and even through mail-outs. That would be wonderful if it were an honest sort of information, but in fact it is spin, and that is the problem with it. Now, these points all came out of a couple of meetings on the Public Health and Human Services Committee in October 18th, and followed by one on November 22nd. At the October 18th meeting, a long line of highly qualified Austin citizens spoke out against water fluoridation, giving their reasons. They were ignored by the council, which then proceeded to swoon over basically the CDC presentation, which is what the Public Health Department rubber stamps. Then there was another meeting quite similar the next month in November, and in that one, well, to backtrack a little, apparently there was dissatisfaction about the fact that nobody showed up in October to represent the pro-fluoride side. So pro-fluoride speakers from the dental societies were specifically invited for the next meeting, and they spoke and gave their time. Okay. Now at this, the Austin Travis County Public Health and Human Services Department presented a good deal of misinformation, but I'm going to speak to only a small part of it. This was the November meeting. At the November meeting, Mr. Rivera made the statement that only one organization had ever withdrawn its endorsement for water fluoridation. Now, I'm not a great believer in endorsements because they can be bought and are, but I'm going to illustrate just how sloppy the city's work was. According to Mr. Rivera, a review had been conducted to find out who supported water fluoridation, and that review consisted of cribbing from an American Dental Association propaganda pamphlet called Fluoridation Facts. They have a compendium at the end of that document. It's a 70-page document, and they keep this up to date of the various organizations that formally support water fluoridation. This came right out of it, right to the type fonts you can see, but they didn't use the most recent version of it. And Mr. Rivera stated that only one organization had ever withdrawn its support of water fluoridation. He was quite wrong about that, and I need to point out which ones have. Those appearing right on the slides he used: National Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology, no longer. National PTA, that's in the last few years. I remember when they stopped. National Research Council and the American Veterinary Medical Association. A lot has come out about what this does to horses. They couldn't support it anymore. And then not on the slides, but earlier were another bunch, just the ones I identified: the EPA, the USDA, the Mayo Clinic, the ACLU, the American Psychiatric Association, and the Indian Health Service, all at one time or another endorsed it and then had their names removed. And more important than who endorses is who doesn't. And you can go to that website down there and actually get to the compendium, up to date, as I said, the latest version. And here are words you will not find in any supporting organization: bone, diabetes, kidney, arthritis, thyroid, endocrine, toxicology, brain, neuro, anything, heart, cardiac, chiropractic. They don't. So much for that. Now, the other thing I wanted to address is the information that is on the city's website and has been there for the last year and a half. Back in 2006, actually starting in 2005, the National Research Council, another of those organizations that has withdrawn its endorsement, was asked by the EPA to produce a report on the safety of fluoride in drinking water. And their report came out in 2006, and their conclusion was devastating. It was not safe. That was their conclusion. So based on that, the American Dental Association and the CDC actually saw fit to start thinking about warning the public about the fact that fluoride in drinking water, when mixed with infant formula, it produces dental fluorosis. It can, and it was increasingly doing so. And they were concerned about that. So they issued some guidelines, best, what?
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I've paused your time, so this isn't costing you time. But on this sign-up list, I see Laura Presley donated 3 minutes to you. She's also signed up to speak, which you can't do. So if Ms. Presley wants to speak, then you would only have 37 seconds left. If she does not want to speak and instead donate her time to you, you have 3 minutes and 37 seconds. But each speaker can only speak for 3 minutes, speak or donate time. And
Go ahead. It's okay.
so it's your choice. If Ms. Presley wants to speak, You will have only 9 minutes then, and you have 37 seconds to go.
Oh, I'm not anywhere near done anyway, so
Okay,
you
so
might as well. Did you want to speak? Oh, donate. Okay. Okay, that's what they put up. And on our warning, okay, it comes in two parts. That's from our website. Fluoride in infants might cause a faint cosmetic condition with faint white markings. Here's what they consider faint white markings. Take a look at that. This is just what you want your kids to have, right? That is called mild fluorosis, okay? And this is the part I object to, we object to. The implication that if you actually follow that formula, that you are somehow depriving your kids so that they might need supplements at the age of 6 months. Your baby's doctor might recommend fluoride supplements. Well, yeah, they might, but they also might make any number of other erroneous prescriptions, okay? There is nothing in the CDC warning or the ADA warning that ever hinted or implied that. And I asked Dr. Wong where he got that information, and he said he got it from a table. We found the table. There it is. However, the table is outdated. That was put up there in 2001, and this is, the warning is meant to supersede that. 41% of kids now have dental fluorosis, according to the CDC, and according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, it's 48%. Okay, so now the question comes up, why are you all continuing to support this? In 3 years of speaking here, I have never once heard the word children uttered from the dais, not once. We all know that this is about political expediency and not about children's dental health. And every once in a while someone gets carried away and says, oh, who's paying you? Someone must be paying you. Well, I always wince when I hear that because I don't believe that at all. And I want to make it clear, I don't think anyone is paying you to fluoridate. However, as politicians, which you all are, you have heard of follow the money and conflict of interest, and I would suggest that the millions and millions of dollars that Austin gets from the CDC just might possibly have something to do with this. Now, I don't accuse anybody of anything, but we keep hearing about the millions and millions of grants, of grant money. Recently, another $5 million. Prior to that, $7.5 million for purposes designated by the CDC. And certainly, things will run more smoothly if your relationship with the CDC goes smoothly. And the CDC is really the reason that Austin water is being fluoridated. Now, how much more time do I have? I have gotten confused.
About 10 seconds.
10 seconds? Well, in that case, I will just say, I think that, you know, if it looks like a duck and walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it probably is a duck, and there is such a thing as, okay, Merry Christmas. We'll see you next year.
Thank you. The next speaker actually was donating time to Laura Presley, but since Ms. Presley has already donated time, Joshua Adair, do you want to speak? Joshua Adair, apparently not in the chamber. Jeff Brunson. Jeff Brunson is signed up 4. And you have 3 minutes.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you, Council. My name is Jeff Brunson. I'm the president of the Capital Area Dental Society, which is Austin's component of the American Dental Association, as well as the Texas Dental Association. I also want to be clear that we were not invited to this meeting. I was not invited to the previous meeting with the Health and Human Services Committee. I was here as a citizen of Austin. I was here as a father of 2 children that live here in Austin. I am here because I believe that fluoride is a safe and effective way of preventing dental caries. I also would like to thank the Health and Human Services Committee for the recommendation. I'm certainly in agreement that that is a good idea. I do want to be brief, and I'm very conscious of your time. But organized dentistry does support community fluoridation. It's been effective for over 66 years. And while there might be a few in our community that are opposed to it, there really is no science to back that up. If you do your homework, if you go to PubMed, if you go to the places where these kinds of things are researched, you'll see that the overwhelming amount of evidence supports community water fluoridation. Dental care is not cheap. I'm a private practice general dentist. I'm also going to be followed by an orthodontist. We understand the expense in dentistry. And so if this all impacts our citizens, our folks that don't otherwise afford dental care, the cost of this community will go up if fluoridation is ended. So I certainly encourage the council to support us as dentists and to support continual water fluoridation here in Austin, as well as these directions that are going to be added to the different service areas in the city, as well as the water bills. Information is important, information is powerful, and I thank you for providing that information. Have a great day.
Thank you. Barry Rooch also signed up for, and you have 3 minutes.
Good morning. My name is Barry Rauch. Thank you for the opportunity to testify on the importance of community water fluoridation. I support fluoridating our local water supply and the proposed resolution. I've lived in Austin for 17 years and practiced orthodontics in the Arboretum and Westlake areas. I'm here as a concerned citizen and a dental professional. I'm a current member of the Capillary Dental Society and have been serving on its board for the last 10 years. I am also a board member of the Capillary Dental Foundation, which was founded several years ago to improve oral health through prevention, education, and access to care. One of the main reasons the foundation exists is to provide access to needed dental care in our 5-county area. Fluoridating our community's water supply is one of the greatest oral health benefits the city has provided to its citizens. I applaud the city and its council members. It is a well-documented fact that fluoridating a community water supply leads to a reduction in tooth decay, the most common chronic childhood disease. One of the main reasons children miss school is due to tooth pain and dental caries. If fluoridation was stopped, dental disease would increase, more Austin area children would be in pain, more school days would be missed, impacting a child's education. Research shows that every dollar invested in water fluoridation saves approximately $38 in unnecessary dental costs. Unnecessary costs our city and local taxpayers would have to burden. Fluoridating our local water supply is enhancing the oral health of our citizens and helps access to dental care, even for those that do not go to the dentist or cannot afford to go. I would like to thank the council for making a good decision to better the health of its citizens and also for your service to our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Those are all the speakers that we have signed up, so I'll entertain a motion on this item. Councilmember Martinez moves approval. Second by Councilmember Morrison. Further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Passes on a vote of 7 to 0.